But for me, I worked out I would rather have no vegan community than be part of a community that's nasty and vicious. I'm gonna make a change forward in my life. Hello, Jade here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to this channel, please press the red subscribe button and the little bell so that you can receive notifications each time I upload a video. Today I want to talk to you about how I stopped being a crazy vegan. And when I say a crazy vegan, I think I was a heavily militant vegan, and I actually brought myself to the point of insanity. And that's because I became vegan just over 4 years ago, and it was through watching Earthlings, and I'm grateful I did watch Earthlings. But after that, I continued to torture myself by watching animal cruelty over and over and over. There's a thing that goes through the vegan community where people say, you know what, you can handle watching it. It's nothing compared to what the animals go through. And I agree with that. It isn't anything compared to what those poor animals go through. But what good am I or any other vegan as a vegan if we're walking around with traumatic stress disorder? We're not any good. Last year, finally, my body and my mind had enough. I woke up every day for so many years and I would watch animal slaughter. I would watch animal cruelty videos that were going through my newsfeed posted by other vegans, and I would share it on my wall. And I'm sure the vast majority of people that were watching my videos were not non-vegans, they were vegans. And I'm sure other vegans were probably driving themselves just as insane, and probably still are, as I was. I became very, very sick. I was so angry. I was so upset. I was waking up each day and I would literally just cry. And I'd say, I hate this world. I hate this world. There's nothing good about it. I hate people. I hate everything in it. I was absolutely miserable. And I'm not surprised I hated people, because all I was looking at was horrible people. And it wasn't until last year, about 13 months ago, and I was in Cambodia and I saw the worst animal cruelty face to face I'd ever seen in my life, and it finished with witnessing a chicken being slaughtered whilst walking through the markets, and that for me was extremely traumatic. I also saw a lot of cruelty to dogs over there. I saw cruelty to other animals whilst walking around. I mean, they don't hide anything in Asia. Nothing's hidden. And everything just became so much. And I didn't leave the unit for a couple of weeks. And I was just absolutely miserable. I truly, truly was. And if you have been following me a long time, that was around the time I returned to cook food. I just couldn't cope with everything. And I had no idea what was causing it. I just thought, okay, it's normal. I've become a vegan. I'm supposed to be hating everyone who's not a vegan. I mean, this is just the warped logic that was going on in my mind, which is not logical at all. And I couldn't get my head together. And of course I couldn't get my head together because I was faced with watching these videos all the time. When I left Cambodia and I came into Vietnam, I felt like all the pain that was inside of me was starting to leave, because I found Cambodia very traumatic, not just for animal cruelty, but this is what my video was about, but the way they treat human beings as well. And it was a big wake-up call for me. And when I stepped into Vietnam, I started thinking, you know what? New country. I have to change countries to get my head together. No, seriously, I was just like, okay, let's start working on me. And the first thing I looked at working on myself was, why am I so angry? Why am I so angry all the time? Why can't I heal? And I was never healing properly as a raw vegan, and I was raw vegan for nearly 2 years, and I started to think there must be some connection there why I can't heal. I'm mentally not right in the head. Why aren't I mentally right? And forget any other traumas that I've been through in my life. I'd worked through them. I've been, to counselors. I'd been a million courses, self-help courses, be the greatest version of me courses. I've done so much work on myself. And I thought, you know what? I'm at a point where I've released a lot of pain from my life, and I've forgiven nearly everybody who's hurt me in my life. Why am I still so angry? In fact, I'm angrier now than I've ever been in my whole life. What is wrong? And I watched a couple of videos and I started crying again. And finally the penny dropped. That's the connection. I have to stop watching cruelty videos. I have to stop torturing myself. I have to stop doing this every day in order to heal my body, and in order to be a good influence, in order to be a person who's spreading love, compassion, positivity, health, vibrancy. So people say, I want what she's having. What is she doing? If I'm there as an angry vegan, very militant, sharing posts saying, if you're not vegan, you're disgusting, you're wrecking this world, rah, rah, rah. People going, whoa, I don't want what she's got. In fact, I want to get as far away from her as possible. And I don't blame them. Looking back and reflecting, I sometimes look at some of my posts when they come up on my Facebook, as a reminder. I'm like, wow, I was really angry. And I was so angry that I wasn't attracting anybody to me, and to following me, I want to be a vegan too. No one was going to follow what I was doing, because anyone who knew me was probably thinking, what happened to the Jade we used to know? She used to be so happy. She used to be fun to be around, and now she's just this crazy Nazi that I don't want to be around. I don't want to do what she's doing. And it's funny, since I've been working on myself so much over the last 12 months, friends and family who were distancing themselves from me are starting to step forward again. And, it's unbelievable the difference in my whole mental attitude just by stopping to watch those slaughter videos. I no longer watch them. If anyone posts them on their news feed, if I check their Facebook, if they're a regular person who regularly posts animal slaughter, animal torture, I don't friend them. I leave them off my page, and I have to do that for my own mental well-being, because I know what happens. I'm well aware. I've watched it and watched it and watched it, and that is why I'm an ethical vegan. But I also know that is never going to bring people over to veganism. And I understand how people can get themselves in a rut doing it. And I can understand the grief and the pain that you go through when you first become a vegan, because you feel lied to. I mean, we have been lied to our whole life and told that we have to have protein. That's why we are killing these animals. And to be honest with you, I never really put much thought into that killing. It was just I went to the shelf and there was my food and I picked it up. So having to make that connection between a living being being treated inhumanely and being killed against their will to be put on my plate, having to deal with all that, having to deal with the fact that I knew that I was a part of it, having the realization that these animals are not happy cows and happy chickens and happy pigs dancing around in beautiful, luscious green fields. They're actually stuck in factory farms. Having to deal with all of that, it causes a lot of pain and it causes a lot of grief. And then you become very angry when your family and friends don't follow, and it hurts. And you think, why are they not following? Is everybody that's in my life a horrible person? And they're not. They're not a horrible person. It's just takes different times for the penny to drop. My mum 4 years ago was very angry at my daughter and I for becoming vegan. She said, why can't you just be normal? Whatever normal is. Why can't you just eat the way you were brought up? And my mum now has eliminated all animal products from her diet except eggs. It's a start. And a crazy vegan would turn around and say, but you're still part of the slaughter of male chicks. And my mum, if that was said to her, would go, whoa, crazy person. And it's very off-putting when a crazy person talks to someone like that. And people, human beings, will get their defensive mechanism up like, who are you to tell me what to do? And why are you accusing me of doing that? I'm not doing that. I'm not the one doing that. That's those people, not me. You know, and that's the human reaction. And that is why it's so important that in the vegan community, we encourage people. If they are reducing their meat consumption, even if they turn around and they have no meat on Monday, instead of saying, but you're still having it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're disgusting. Instead of saying that, saying, you know what, that's really great. Would you like me to share some recipes with you? Because I've got some really good recipes. And I know that when I first became vegan, it was really hard and I didn't know what to do. So here's some things that might help you. And you never know. Might be 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and one day they say, you know what, I love your recipes, I'm actually vegan. You go, wow, because you haven't been nasty. We have to be so careful how we speak to people if we want to spread the message. And the first thing you have to do is work on yourself. And I have taken a lot of time off YouTube. I have been very cautious of what I have been posting on my Facebook and my Instagram, because the realization to me that being a hardcore militant crazy person is not going to bring people over to this lifestyle. People want to be inspired. People want to say, wow, her life is just wonderful. She's happy. She's living the life I want to live. What is she doing? She's a vegan. Not just a vegan, she's a raw vegan who munches on fruits and greens. Maybe I can do that. Maybe if I do that, I'll have the energy to travel the world. Maybe if I do that, I'll have the energy to serve the poor. Maybe if I do that, I'll have the energy to teach 3 and 4 year old little children like she does. Maybe if I do that, I'll have the energy to do the things she's doing. Bingo. We got another one. So it's really important. So that's how I stopped becoming a crazy vegan, and that's how I've started spreading the message, I think, in a far more positive approach. And it was very humbling for me just over a year ago when I was attacked online by militant raw vegans. And I looked at all the attacking that I had, and I read everything. And I was very upset by it at the time, but I'm so grateful it happened, because that to me was one of the biggest wake-up calls where I said, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that drags people down even further when they're struggling. I was struggling more than I've ever struggled in my life a year ago. And I was so lost. And all of a sudden I felt I had no community. And I thought, everyone's against me. What is going on? And I realized that's because I was surrounding myself by other militant people. Birds of a feather flock together. But once I started letting down my defense mechanism and stop being so hard on people, because the reason we're hard on people is because it's just a mirror image of ourselves. It's a reflection of where our failings are. So instead of attacking ourselves, we go and attack someone else. So for me, when I read that, instead of being screw them, I was like, okay, lovely. Thank you so much for teaching me how I don't want to be. And that's how I started finding myself again and stop being a crazy vegan. And I don't want to be a crazy vegan. I want to be a nice person. I want to be a regular person who people go, I can relate to that chick. She's cool. Or old chick, whatever you want to call me. But that is how I stopped. And I can see the depression that spirals out of control through the vegan community. And it's one, because they feel very lost, like I can't ever be vegan enough because the vegan police will attack me. 2, the depression that is caused by constantly focusing on the animal slaughter. Instead of focusing on the slaughter, we need to be focusing on how can I bring people over to this movement. I know, I've got to focus on me, because it all starts with you. When you focus on being the change you want to see in this world, you'll be surprised at the ripple effect that you can create. And that's what I started doing. I started working on me, because as I said, when I read those comments, I saw a mirror image of myself, and I said, ooh, I don't like that. How's that going to bring anyone here? It starts with me. So it's been a long progress for me, but it all started with stopping watching the slaughter videos, stopping putting high expectations on everybody, stop expecting that people are going to change overnight, encouraging small changes that anybody makes instead of saying, well, you're still a carnist. I mean, how horrible. And I cringe when I see that on people's Facebook pages now, where they call non-vegans carnists. It's very off-putting, and for a non-vegan reading that, they're going to say, wow, these people are crazy. And I don't want people to think I'm a crazy vegan, because I'm not a crazy vegan. I have been a crazy vegan, but I'm not now. And I think it's so important for people to work on their own mental health, and constantly check yourself as a vegan, because we are very awake to what the world's about. And I wear that, and most vegans do, but we can't hate the world for it. We have to see the good in the world. We have to focus on the good in the world, and we have to encourage people when they're trying to do good in the world. Let's not attack people for the small changes that they are making, because we attack people for the small changes they are making, those small changes become no changes at all. Anyhow, I hope you like this video. I hope it's helped you on your vegan journey. I know it's a rough one, I know it's a tough one, and I know it's hard to simply work out where you belong in this world. But for me, I worked out I would rather have no vegan community than be part of a community that's nasty and vicious. So I actually did a vegan video about a year and a bit ago, when I was still angry, and it was in regards to Sonia Say's video. Yes, I'm a vegan, and yes, I'm judging you. I'm a vegan, and I'm not judging you. All I want to do is support you to come follow me and become and be the healthiest version of yourself, compassionate, kind, loving, and caring. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below, press the like button, and most importantly, be kind to the #1 person in your life, you.